he just looked a threat. He scored a wonderful goal, but he was working back and he looked happy. He was getting on the ball. He was trying his tricks. He just had a fantastic game for the first 45, obviously, because, as I said, he got marked out the game second half. But I just see something different, Dan, when I'm watching these Arsenal players. They don't carry any passengers anymore.
Don, I had to check. I'm just looking at how you're dressed. I've had to check this Community Shield still in August. I mean, is it cold in London? Are you wearing that cap for a bit?
Mate, it's absolutely Baltic here. It's got diagonal rain, right? So I've got a hat on, I've got a snood on, I've got Under Armour on underneath.
Oh, my goodness.
It's ridiculously cold. Alexis hasn't even bothered to show up.
Don,
at least I'm brave enough to show up.
Don, why would Arsenal be letting, for example, Maitland-Niles go? You know yourself, you need a squad in this game to compete. Why would they be letting somebody go that can play in as many positions as he can?
Craig, I've got no idea, because before the game, chatting to Alexis, when I seen his name on the team sheet, I was actually glad, because I love the kid. I love watching him. He can, as you said, Craig, he can play in a number of positions. He's physically very strong. He's a great athlete. And I have got no idea why Arsenal or Mikel Arteta think that he's the one that can allow to go out the door for 20, 25 million pounds. If you're Wolves, if you're Newcastle, whoever might be chasing him, try and get him signed up straight away, because the attitude in the kid is tremendous. And I think Arsenal fans absolutely love him as well. So I've no idea why Mikel Arteta doesn't feel as though he fancies him, because he's played him in the big games. He was man of the match in the cup final, and he's man of the match today.
Don, is Martinez #1 choice now in goal?
Absolutely. He had another terrific game where I think they've stumbled across a fantastic goalkeeper. He's got presence. When there was no fans inside the stadium today, Dan, he was bossing his back four. He was organising. You can see he's a leader. His story's amazing, actually, where he's come from and how many loan spells he's had at lower league clubs. But again, he's got so much confidence about him. Normally when players go through one-on-one like Sadio Mane did today, you feel as though, right, that's a goal. With him in the nets, all of a sudden now you question yourself thinking, well, the goalkeeper's got a chance here. And of late, he's been pulling off some fantastic saves.
You funny you mentioned that. I was watching, I nearly said Jay Leno, Bernd Leno at the end of the game, and he had one of those looks. Clearly, obviously, he had that injury that allowed this scenario to happen. As Don said, stumbled across Martinez, really. But I was watching him, and I might be wrong, but he had the look at the end of one of those half sort of grinning smiles, happy for your team, but realising that the pathway back into the side might be difficult. Because, at the end of the day, you're competing. If I'm playing central midfield and Don Hutchison comes in and plays brilliantly, am I absolutely delighted for him? No, I'm not. No. Because I want to get back in that side ASAP, and that's the competitive edge of a player. And I kind of looked at Leno at the end and thought, he knows, currently at this moment in time, if this continues, when he's fully fit again, he's going to be on the bench. And I don't think Mikel Arteta has, and I'm absolutely sure he's shown already, he has no sentiment involved in his team selection.
No.
Playing well, you start.
Yeah.
And I got that feeling when I saw the shot of Leno at the end.
It's interesting, Arsenal putting in these sort of performances, Don, obviously without their most expensive man, Mesut Özil once again not involved. Guendouzi as well, by the way, on the sideline, which I think is quite relevant to what Craig was bringing up. The fact is that clearly there's no favourites with Arteta. If you come in and you play well, you get a chance. If you act like an idiot, as he did against Brighton, then you're out.
Well, isn't that how it should be? I mean, no surprise Craig doesn't actually want me to play well because he's looking after himself. I mean, no surprise there. But that's how it should be. This is professional sport. You can't carry passengers. You can't just play Guendouzi because he got signed and he looks as though he's got a prospect. And Mesut Ozil's got all the talent in the world, but he's not performing, he's not trying, and actually doesn't look bothered. So you can't play these guys. If you can't rely on them, at some point the board now has got to take urgent action with Mesut Özil, and somehow they've got to be sensible enough to give him what he wants, whatever the money might cost, pay him to get out the door. Because when I watch Arsenal, now it looks like a happy camp. Yeah. And when I see all these Arsenal youngsters busting a gut for the manager, for the fans and for themselves to try and play well and work extremely hard, you don't want someone like Mesut Özil ruining that dressing room. I mean, David Luiz, we all know he's never going to change, but from what I hear from within the camp, He's actually a good guy and he's trying to pass on his knowledge, and that's how it should be. And he'll give those youngsters one more year of all of his experience. Then he'll go away and he'll finish his career somewhere else. And all those young kids who are learning and trying to gain all the knowledge that they've got will learn off someone like David Luiz. They ain't going to learn off Mesut Özil, or they will learn the bad way if they think that's acceptable, which is not.
The difference with that, and they're not. I'm not comparing the situations; they're completely different. But the difference in the re-signing of David Luiz is that he's playing in a position that's needed.
Yep.
Let me tell you now. The way Mikel Arteta sets the Arsenal side up to play, there is no place in that side for Mesut Özil. Come rain or shine.
Right.
No place. Because how do you fit a guy like him into a side that have lately, against the big teams, played a defensive, structured game and then hit which needs everybody on the same page, and then hit super fast on the counter-attack? Because one, he can't defend, and two, he can't run. So how's he going to transition into the counter-attack? Because he hasn't got the pace.
Right.
He's a luxury player who would slip into a Man City side when they've got all this possession and he can lounge around and then pick a pass. At Arsenal, the way they're playing, there is no way in this world that Mikel Arteta can shoehorn them into this side. Not a chance, not the way he's trying to play. He's toast, but he's £300,000 a week toast, and that's a problem for Arsenal. But he's not getting back in the side. Never.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN+.